what Hegel calls the labour of the negative. The initial instinct on the left is that negative instinct, that things are wrong. And they must be rectified. They can only be rectified, however, by the seizure of power. And so we're going to seize power in order to rectify them. But once you've got the power, the negative is still there in your heart because it's driven you all along. That's the thing which has inspired you. So you set about destroying things, punishing people. You find classes who are to blame. The Jews, the bourgeoisie, whoever it might be, and you don't get out of that negative structure.
Right.
And I feel that's what I felt very strongly in 1968. That of course there are things that are wrong in France, but there are also things that are beautiful and right, and you've got to go through this and come back and rescue those things, which is much more important than destroying a few obstacles along the way.
Right.
The purely negative approach to the status quo is simply going to perpetuate this negativity, and has done. The typical conservative, in my reading of events, is someone who looks around himself and he finds things that he loves, and he thinks, well, those things are threatened, they're vulnerable, I've got to protect them. And it's not often that you find on the left somebody who looks around and finds things that he loves. It's always something that's gone wrong, something that is even hateful, and you've got to mobilize against it. If you've lost any sense that actually the world is lovable and that there are things therefore to be rescued in it, you have actually lost the sense of why there is such a thing as a community in the first place. And that, I think, is one of the things that I felt very strongly throughout my life, that there really are wonderful things that we've inherited. All Americans, whatever position in society they are still heirs to something rather remarkable. A rule of law which goes on perpetuating itself from generation to generation. If only people knew how rare that was, they would see that they've got to fight to preserve it. And the same with so many other institutions that we inherited.
I couldn't agree with you more.